All right, Sophie, now we're going to take a look at your backstroke from the side view underwater. And as you get started here, one thing I notice is you're fairly flat with your shoulders, so that is a good way to approach backstroke, but still would like to see a little bit more rotation. Again, at entry, you can just see how that elbow is just bent right there. And it's just the hand is kind of pinky first, but kind of on turn, so that's the back of the hand, and you can just see the slight bend of the elbow as you're trying to get that arm in the water. And as you rotate a little bit more, then that shoulder rotates down. Would like to see it just get a little deeper and be a little bit sooner. At this part in the catch, you can see that you're pulling the water pretty well. I like that the hand is here, it's thumb up, pinky down into the catch, and that's pretty good. As we go from there into the next frame, what we want to try to do, and what I would like to see a little bit better job from you is getting that elbow bent a little bit sooner, and then making sure that the forearm is angled just slightly up and the hand is up here, not down here. So your angle is a little less of an arm bend than I would like to see. It's not straight, so that's good, but we would like to see about a 110-degree angle, and that means that the hand is above the elbow as you're going to start that pull, that press, and you're getting to that point right here and then pushing that water back. So just a little bit more. I like the finish of that stroke, but just a little bit more on your side, and then getting that elbow to bend just a little bit sooner. And again, you can see on this other side, you can see that bend is actually happening a little bit more like what we were talking about. So on this side, the elbow's down and the hand is above the elbow. And that's a more powerful position to be in to catch that water. And it also is a little bit friendlier to the shoulder when you're in this position. But I think you get a little deeper, a little quicker with the shoulder rotation to the left side. And I think that's why that arm is in that position versus the right side. You can see you're kind of higher with the shoulder at the entry, and then that hand just tends to stay either flat or just below the elbow, and we just want it to be a little higher. So if we can get a little more rotation of the shoulders, the shoulder would be a little bit deeper, a little bit more right here, so the top of the shoulder is on that line. Then it would go down into your elbow. Your elbow would be just slightly deeper, and then your hand would come back up to the position it is in now as you go to pull. But we could get a little more elbow bend and get in a little bit better position if we could just get that shoulder just a little deeper on that side. We don't want too much shoulder rotation, but we do want a little bit more than you have right here in the video. Again, you're got a good feel for the water, so you're holding that hand in a good position all the way through the catch and the pull. So even at this point, we can see the thumbs up, the hand's pushing back toward your feet, pulling that water back toward your feet and pushing you forward. So I really do like that. That's a good position to be in. As we look at your kick, pretty good kick overall. Definitely kicking in both directions. Definitely straightening the legs and keeping the knees underneath the surface of the water. So I really do like that. What I would like to see from your kick, and whether it's the kick outs or the kick on the backstroke, is just a little more speed, a little tighter, faster feet. But I see that on the underwater kick out as well. Going into the turn, as we get rotated over, again, just a little bit late getting on the stomach. I'd like to see that happen faster. And then that bent elbow. And then as you come over, again, feet are side by side touching. Would like to have a little more separation of the feet. Would like to see the feet a little higher than the body. So maybe up a little closer to the tiling. And then your angle's pretty good, but it could be just a little steeper at the push off. And then as we go out, that's a good line there, though. You do a good job once you get to that push off of getting good depth on the kick out. I like the streamline is really good, and you're not using too much of the shoulders and the head or the arms to generate your kick out. So this streamline right here is very good. This is where we want to be. Head's in a good position, tucked, arms are on the back side of the head, and the head's tucked in for a very good streamline. Again, as we look at the kick, you can just see the separation in the feet. Not that the feet need to be together, but they could be a little bit closer. You got one foot over here. It's a little higher on the plane, meaning that they're not exactly on the same plane as you're kicking them. So the right foot is a little lower than the left foot. Left foot's turned in a little bit. Would like to see them both on the same position on the kick up and kicking straight up and not having the one turned a little bit sideways. And then just too much dead time as you transition in the backstroke. We want to transition to that flutter kick a little sooner. You had a lot of dead time there. There was really no kicking after that last dolphin kick, and probably 2 to 3 feet before you get to the surface of the water. Again, nice clean pull, good body position by and large. Again, a little flat with the shoulders at the entry, so just a little bit of a turn back. We'll see that on the front view underwater a little bit easier. Once you get to this position, good position to be in. Again, on this side, you get that better position. So we all have a side we ride a little lower with, so I think your shoulder position is better here, a little bit lower. Then that bend of the elbow happens a little bit more pronounced, and you get the hand a little bit above that elbow, which for me is a better position to catch water with. And eventually you get a little bit more of a elbow bend, just a little bit, but that's pretty good overall. And then as you push back, we want to push down at the end of the pole, but you can just see here your hands turned towards the bottom a little bit too soon. So it should still be pushing back at this point, should be still turned this way, and should be pushing backwards here towards your hip or the bottom of your hip, and it's pushing more towards the bottom a little too early on your left side. Didn't see that as much on the right, and you're finishing back and a little bit deep away from the body. Like to see it finish closer to the body on that side.